First of all, the word ger appears in different places and has different meanings sometimes. Okay? Sometimes it's talking about a ger tzedek, which is a full-fledged convert. Sometimes it's talking about a stranger, someone who is not even Jewish, but is a ger toshav, a ger toshav. Okay, so what is it talking about here? So let's just go and just see the context. I'm seeing that we're talking about, this is Parshas Emor. Okay. It's referring to not just murder. For murder, you put to death. That's true. A man who strikes mortally an animal life shall make restitution. True. But the death sentence is not applicable for killing an animal. Okay. If a man inflicts a wound on his fellow, as he did, it should be done to him. I want you to know this is a very interesting idea. Just a break for a break, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Now, in all of Jewish history, this has never been true. So what does the Torah mean? I just want to get context here. An eye for an eye? I mean, look, we don't have to play games here. It's never been, even though the Torah seems to say it. God forbid a person strikes, I don't know, however it happened, somebody's eye out. Has it ever been in Jewish history? I mean, I'm a Jew, so I'm telling you. I know the history. I read this history. Anybody could read the history. It never was that Jews would, the court system would require an eye being removed. What happens is there's an insurance. There's a concept of restitution financially. Okay, so there are 5 different types of insurance, from unemployment, from health, right? This depends on the type of damage. It could be libel, it could be you have to pay for the shame you caused somebody. But there's 5 different types of financial restitution. How do they value it? They value it based on, at least in the Gemara, there's a discussion, how much I would pay not to have my eye taken out, or it's financial. And I'm going to give you an example, a little bit of a hint, when it says ayin tachat ayin, an eye for an eye. Okay? That's what it says. Ayin tachat ayin. Take the letter. The word tachat literally means tuchas, underneath. It means underneath. Tachat. We're going to translate it as an eye for an eye. But it says an eye under an eye. What is the letters that are underneath each one of these letters? When I say underneath, the letter that follows. So the letter that follows an ayin is a pei. The letter that follows the yud is a kaf. The letter that follows the nun is a samech. Those 3 letters is kesef. Kaf, samech, pei. Money. We have a tradition that compensation, financial compensation, must be made. And when I started to say this, an argument, is it how much I'm willing to pay not to have my eye taken out, or how much damage it was to him? For example, if he was a pianist and his fingers were gone, how much were his fingers worth? Or if he was a bird watcher and his eye is gone, how much was it worth? Okay, so it's either based on the person that did the damage or the person being damaged. There has to be a financial restitution. Okay, so already, we were there at Mount Sinai. We know what it means. It ain't always what it seems. I don't know if you heard that expression, but let's go on. One who strikes an animal shall make restitution. One who strikes a person shall be put to death. There is one law for you, and it should be for the proselyte and native alike. Now, what is proselyte? Here, that's the word ger. As far as I know, in English, proselyte means a convert. Okay, so Art Scroll, at least the one I'm using here, is at least translating it as a convert. I could look into all the Meforshim, the other commentators, I don't think anybody's going to argue with this. That the convert is no different than the naturally, I don't know what you want to call it, the naturalized citizen, the one born from a Jew. Okay, so at least here, the word ger, and I don't think there's anybody that disagrees. I could be wrong. You could find somebody, maybe. But if we have a tradition that it means a convert here, I mentioned the word ger could be used in different contexts in different places. Because it could mean a ger toshav, which is not a Jew, or a ger tzedek. Okay? The word ger has also been used just as a wanderer, a stranger. Like Avram, called a ger. Yitzhak was called a ger. Okay? If you heard any of my classes, God wants us to be like gerim. This world is not a permanent place. We are supposed to be like gerim. It means not just a wanderer, but not permanent.